Yeah, I did start. Oh no! Oh, thank you. We've got quick buttons for that now. Good job, OBS. Here, I put my microphone on my Meta glasses that I use for streaming. I needed to make sure that they don't fall off my face. Select live stream. Activate. And then we've got YouTube. Sign in. God dang it. Oh, good. It didn't make me do all the password stuff. There we go. There's my live stream. Oh, they even have live, and how long? Oh my God, that's new. That's helpful. Good job, YouTube. What's up? All right, we got a CT5. We're doing 5 on the CT5. We got a new roll of 5. Sick. Let's go. Let's go. Do we got a sticker? We got a GeoShield sticker on this? Ooh. You know what I mean? Oh no, it's off center. I can't put this. What the heck? I was like, sweet, I got a new sticker, and then the lettering is off center, so I'm not gonna put it where I was gonna put it. My knife. Oh, here's a knife. Let's put a new blade in this. Oh, we have Detroit Tint Studio Scrub It Minis and Minis. So if you want a GeoShield looking orange one or the Detroit Tint Studio, we have those available now. They're sick. Daddy, could you please go through your slip solution in a keg? Oh shit. I just took care of that. I use 3 ounces of tint slip. So I fill my keg up to here, right in there. Just like, it could be here, it could be up here. But then I put 3 ounces. So that's this bottle. And then I squeeze. And 30 milliliters. And then there's a measurement here that shows ounces. So half ounce, full ounce. I do 3 of those. If it's a little sticky, I'm gonna do more. If it's a little slippery, I'm just gonna do a little less. But that's roughly what you wanna do. Oh, I forgot to put air in it. I at least gotta do that. Forgot. But we're gonna be doing 5 all the way around on this. And then a nice shade on the windshield. There we go. That's a little better. So I'm gonna put this back to where it was, and let's get started. .36-inch roll. We're just gonna split this in half. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, there we go. No, actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna take our roll. We're gonna cut a chunk off of it. Line it up. Now, 36-inch roll on front doors. I like to tilt it just a little bit because it gives me a little bit more space at the bottom. So when I flip my pattern, it gives me enough space. And flip this around. And then I got enough space here. Sometimes I've done it like dead center and I've been off a little bit. Right like that. Take our squeegee, fix these patterns together. Let's cut a bottom edge. Look in here. I'm going to cut this front edge first, just because I didn't have much film there, so I didn't have enough to like shift backwards. I have the rest of it on the back right now, but plastic, mirrors, and stuff get in the way. This is all lined up nice, so might as well just cut this first. There we go. And we're going to shift it forward, make this cut back here. Move our pattern back. Nice. Slide this down. Just a touch, nothing crazy. Because it depends on where the inside seal is going to come. Offset, but just a teeny bit, not much. Our 36-inch rolls for windshield and back windows, it's the majority of what I do. This is actually a 36-inch roll right now. And dude, I could not believe this. In all my years of tinting, I still don't believe it, but numbers are numbers. Um, 40-inch rolls outsell 36-inch rolls like 4-to-1. So like for every 4 rolls sold, 3 of those are typically 40-inch rolls and 1 of those are 36. And I'm genuinely shocked. I've always been a 36-inch roll guy. If you're using a plotter, a 40-inch is generally a little bit better. But if you're doing cars, you can take a 36-inch roll, split it in half, and the thing is, a 40-inch roll on your average like truck or SUV isn't quite enough either. So I don't understand why most people end up getting 40s. 36s are going to cover the vast majority of front windshields and back windows. Split it in half and do doors. I should make a post and just ask why. Because I know plotters, and I know there's some windows where you're going to need a 40-inch roll. I'm just really surprised at the differences in. I didn't think it would be that outweighed. All right. So we're hand cutting this one today. Why? I don't know. Just because. Just because we picked up the knife. Was this frozen? There we go. Yeah, 36 for all cars, all windows, the vast majority. And then you do have a few oddball shades that sometimes aren't available in a 36-inch roll, like a 50 or a 70. Sometimes they're only available in a 40-inch roll. So it would make sense, like, okay, well, you know, if I get like a ProMaster windshield or I get a Transit windshield, it's a bigger windshield. You'll need a 40-inch roll for that. Special situation, but generally also a lighter shade. But my favorite setup has always been 36-24. If I'm just picking two sizes. Because when I go and buy that 36-inch roll, I'm just saving some money on film that generally is just going to go to waste. But if I did a lot of mid-size SUVs, yeah, I could see doing a 40, splitting it in half. It's just your Rams, your Tahoes, Silverados, F-150, those all need 24s. I have trouble with Ram windshield, large Transit vans, and Chevys also. The 40 has helped me with some, but others could have done 36. Okay, that's fair. Just gives you extra material. If you're doing like a Tesla windshield, the 3s and the Ys, having some extra film at the top and the bottom. Valid. Good reason. Okay, we're gonna load up. Where did it go? Where did it go? Five. 5% on that one. Go live. Window tint. Doop. We're live. And if I click on this button, let's minimize that. And then click activate. No, that means it's broken. Let's do this again. Activate. Look at it. And then there we go. That should work. Okay, so that is all set. Let's shrink them. Let's do how we've normally done it. If I'm not streaming, I'll typically get my door patterns first and come around and just install them one after the next. What's up, brother? Yeah, this is the black on black. Black wheels. CT5V with some dark winders. We have GeoShield films. We do C2 carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex. Well, that wasn't supposed to be. So if you look up front, those are the films that we offer. Carbon, ceramic, and Apex. All right, now can we... There we go. Can you go over two-staging? Oh, yeah. This is one of those we are definitely two-staging. So I'm going to get a stool. I'm going to get comfy. we're gonna get it in. I think I just got to be patient with the other one. In between front film that's on the glass, that's hanging on the liner still. You're tinting on the outside? Yes. It's because when he drives really fast, it's free removal at 70 miles an hour. And then it blows off. And then you get repeat business from that. It's like, man, I was just driving really fast. I got to get my car retinted. Dark but legal. Charger? Look at videos on it. Charger's not that bad. Let me check the window lockout. How does the blade not scratch the window? Low angles. Oh, it was off. That's why. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. Oh, I think our key. Let's put this back to normal. Okay, see, everything kicks on. Turn that off. And then you can just press and hold the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So now it's in keep everything on mode. Fail. That was a fail. Is it more effective to clean with the blade? Yes. Each one has their merits. Never get non-factory window tinting. Big mistake. How do you get factory window tinting on a sedan? How do you get front door tinting, factory tinting on any vehicle? Same for windshield. So I have a scrub pad and I have a razor blade. I typically just go over the window with a razor blade because when I do this by itself, I can't feel the window. I don't know if I just knocked a piece of dirt or just like skipped straight over it. Because if there's something stuck here and I just waved over it. I didn't really take it off. So scrub pads are good at loosening up some debris. But if anything's truly like stuck there, you have to scrub at it more than that. So you really need to know that it's there. So you can do both of those with just a razor blade. I usually scrubby and then blade it because it's still wet. And that's a good way to do it. I've had times where I have only scrubbied windows, and then you install a piece of film and you have glue and you're like, shit, I missed that. Because, you know, you're also making all the soap sudsy, right? So like I can't see something that might be stuck. You got tint, you got water, all that kind of hides. These are tighter seals for a Cadillac. This might stick. Unless it's old or unless there's glue. See, I agree. Just sometimes you just don't notice the glue or a spot because it can be pretty small. I'm not saying the razor blade has been perfect. I've skipped over some stuff with that too. But I tend to catch more with a blade. Oh, I guess that wasn't so bad. That's nice. Weren't we supposed to go over this in a little bit more detail? Did I just forget about that? We got another window. We'll go over it. Somebody said, like, specifically the top half. Like, oh, damn it. I started talking about other stuff. You're doing illegal tints. No. I don't know if they have a doctor's note. Michigan state law, if they have a doctor's note, then it's fine. If they don't have a doctor's note, they can keep it parked. But there's exemptions for this here. It's an old state law. Thanks for the tips and the tricks. You are welcome. You got 3 to go. And watch what's going to happen is I'm going to get to this part. I'm going to start talking about something completely different every time just because I zone out like that. I was more concerned that my pattern was going to get stuck as soon as I put it into the side because it seemed tighter than usual. You can see how it's kind of binding in there. So if it does this, it's a little bit more risky, but as long as nothing freezes, we should be okay. So if you make a swipe and just make sure your film doesn't bind up, if it rolls like that, you want to make sure you get it in like one nice clean swipe and it doesn't fold the film over on itself because that's going to make a crease. Okay, so this stamp is in the glass. C2 carbon, where am I from? Versus Pro Classic. I notice you don't offer Pro Classic. I used to, and I still like the film. Market conditions have changed. And I was actually kind of slow to adapt. So there's a few different types of customers. There is, yeah, I was definitely more Boston, which I am definitely not from. So there's people that are just interested in getting the least expensive. And that's why you would carry something like Pro Classic. Or what has taken that spot is carbon. And that's really for people that shop around and actually ask or just hear from everybody that they call. They might, like the thing is, they might not know anything about tint, and a lot of people calling around don't. They're looking for tint, they're comparing some prices, and they're just going with whatever option sounds the best for them, or the cheapest or the fastest. So by itself, if you have nothing to compare it to, it really doesn't matter if it's a carbon or a dyed film. To certain people, it's just like, I just want tint on my car. And like, you tell them, oh, it's carbon, it blocks heat, and that just like goes straight over their head. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I just want tint. So that's why we've had Pro Classic for a long time. And it really gave a clear illustration of a good, a better, and a best. So it was dyed, carbon, ceramic. Now, with Apex, it's given us still that good, better, best, but everything's shifted. So carbon is our entry, and that blocks some heat, but mainly in the darker shades. C2 ceramic is a single layer of ceramic, and people refer to Apex like it's a super ceramic, but like, what does that really mean? Like, how is it different? It's 2 layers of ceramic in the same film. So it takes the same great heat rejection from C2, and then it adds a layer. So it's like the bleeding edge of window film. Some people don't even care about the haze on bad film, and that's something that I just cannot live with. I refuse to offer that type of a film. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Dude, I saw the comments in videos that I've posted showing differences between, like, we went to Walmart, we bought Black Magic ceramic, and it was the milkiest film I had ever seen. And then I made a follow-up video that was literally tinting a window with milk to show the comparison. And you know what? The window that was tinted with milk turned out better than the cheap Black Magic tinted with their own solution. And so, personally, I would rather have a clearer film than something that is difficult to see through. But there were comments that were like, oh, I don't care if it's hazy like that. I'd love for it to just block some heat. But like, I never feel like the upgrades should have any type of a trade-off, and that's where I just like, no. Every window film, I feel like, should be clear, and when you add performance to it, you shouldn't lose things that you had before. So like, oh, if I go with this film, it's gonna look clear. If I go with this film, it's gonna block heat, but then it's gonna be hazy. But yeah, there's people that genuinely like don't even notice. It's like taking a picture with a blurry camera lens. They just don't even notice. Or that use their phone with a screen protector that is all bubbled up or cracked and broken. And it's like, that shit drives me crazy. But they would rather use a broken screen protector than just have their glass exposed. That to me makes no sense. Okay, so we're gonna install this one. We're gonna 2-stage it. I'm remembering. We're gonna start with putting the long edge up first. It just helps get the film onto the glass. I can put a little bit on the window, and then I'm just gonna let that float away, just so it's not dragging dirt. I'm gonna roll the film portion up, right below where that liner is, flatten it out, and then just push it into the side seal. I wanna be careful on just taking too much time on this one. Seals are tighter, so it's gonna start freezing up on me pretty quick. If I have to boop it, that's what I'll do. So you see how this is still overlapping? I need to pull this back, flatten that out, and then curl this up enough so I can just push it flat into the seal. But it's important that that's flat. If that's flat, that all just goes into the window and it doesn't bind up on anything. Then we start squeegeeing out the top. Swipe the edges so we push everything kind of up and out and over. And it's really not even like this part matters. It's more the top that matters. Take our trusty tri-edges, swipe those corners, and then we can even look and see. I don't see any bubbles there. Squeegee this. I don't see any bubbles there either. Sweet. If I did, I can stand here on the outside and look at it and like take your card, put some pressure, and just squeegee up. And then we're gonna roll our window up. Rinse that off, and we're gonna peel our liner. You're good at blocking out the door dinger. Probably more annoying than the door dinger. And then we're just gonna wet that and tuck it into the bottom. So pull the seal back, get that film started, jump to this side, pull the film back, get it started, and then I pull the film up so it's sitting over that ledge there. And then I wanna make sure I get this tucked in. Like the last one, this is really tight. So it's not flattening out as easily, causing this area to kind of bunch up. We'll revisit that. Part of it is the air, but we're gonna get it in a state that kind of puts some pressure this way. It's rolled, but if this roll was like all the way over here, I'd be more worried about creasing it. I kind of want to tighten it up against the side. And then we're gonna just try and work that out in one swipe, and we're gonna pay attention to how it pinches. Because what can happen is this could easily fold over on itself. GeoShield is a little bit more rigid, so it tends to not do that. But still, as I'm going down, see where it's pinching here? That's dangerous. There we go. But it all went. If I have a more flexible film, more tissue papery, that doesn't have as much like poster board strength to kind of like push itself in there. It might more easily just fold on itself. So like the C2 ceramic is a 1.5 mil film, but it feels a little bit thicker than that. This is a CT5V. The 5 is for 5%. Nice. That looks really good. I'll take that. I like that they laminated the stamps too, so you don't even see stamps at all. It'll make it look really clean. I hope they did that on the back doors too. Do you think I can make some money if I try doing window tints in my driveway? Yeah, absolutely. Get some film, get some tools, practice on your own, start doing it for friends and family. Doing it in your driveway is difficult because the wind and being outdoor just is going to make the film blow around and stuff. It's definitely worth trying out and see how you like it. Do you still visit Harry Potter? I don't go visit Harry Potter. I hope he's cutting well though. Yeah, as long as it's not windy. Windy makes it difficult. Windy really just takes your film and wants to blow it away from the car. So you're trying to put a piece on there and then a slight breeze just whoosh, wishes it away. That looks so good. It does. Did they laminate? Oh, they didn't. So front windows are laminated, rear ones are not. So rear ones will show the stamps here. I'm getting tired of tinting. What do I do? I don't know. That's why I don't just tint. I mean, that's for like live streaming videos, tool store, everything else around. Everything else is just like, will get boring and tedious, but like I like the variety. I'm currently in the bathroom because I don't want to work anymore. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But if you can figure out a way to have some variety around it, it definitely makes it more fun. Want to get into tinting? I started tinting my house. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. Don't even bother with cars. Just keep tinting houses, and I'm serious about that. Do your house. Tint a neighbor's house. You'll be like, wow, why does anybody fuck around with cars? Why are you hand cutting when you have a nice plotter? Thank you. Most people just say like, oh, you're not using the plotter anymore? I have a good appreciation for both. And people like to see both. So we do both. Okay, that's got to be my favorite thing on the new GM cars. All the new GM cars so far seem to have more sensitive letting you know a car is next to you. But when I walk up to a car now, it goes doot, 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 doot. It thinks I'm a obstacle. Does that cut the rubber? No, not if you do it right. And I'll show you, I'll get nice and close to it. I'll show you how to cut the rubber too. We won't do it. We won't actually cut the rubber, but I'll show you what people do. That will often make them cut the rubber. There we go. Okay, so what happens is people put too much blade out and they lean the knife into the seal. They'll do a couple other dumb things too, but I got a rubber seal here. I got a knife. I'm only gonna put that much blade out. See that little, oh, hang on. Where are we going? Is it this way? It's this way. See that little grain of rice there on the end? That's how much blade I have out when I'm up against the seal. So I push this right in here where it's really not against the rubber, but I use the rubber just as a guide. right like that. If you leave out too much blade, well, now this blade is literally touching the side of the rubber here. And if I angle this inwards, I'm going to start getting slivers out of it. So just a little bit of blade, put it in that little space. And then you use the end of the knife that can touch it, and that just makes the seal into a guide rather than a cutting board. Not every seal gives you that much space there, so you still have to use some caution, and it, you know, you can't really see it when you have 2 layers of 5%, so it's a skill that you develop. Or you can take a Sharpie and then just not cut on the car at all. Yeah. Do you ever nick the seal when slicing downwards? I have. Absolutely. I don't anymore. So what happens is your angle changes, and you have to be aware of that. So you don't have to just cut all the way straight down, but as you go down, my blade goes from this position to like, oh, now it's gonna hit the car. So then it starts tilting like this. So when it does that, the little bit more blade exposed, and people tend to like lean it inwards. You just have to be conscious of that. Continue to angle your blade outward, or just stop. And then you could go back up. Or you could just start here and go straight up, and then you never run into that at all. But yeah, those little like, you can get little pigtails at the end. Little notches in the rubber. That's where I learned to really start on the passenger side and double cut on the passenger side. Because years ago, I wasn't perfect. I'm still not perfect. But if anything was going to happen, it was going to happen on the passenger side. You know, but I worked for shops that were under 200 a car. They would just stack up appointments for us. And you, like, the thing is, when you work places where they just don't give you time to care, you still care, but like, you have to take shortcuts. And I would get in arguments. We need more time to do this. And they're like, well, we need to make more money too, so figure it out. And that's also why I'm not there anymore. You get burnt out and frustrated and you leave. But yeah, there's a lot of shops that don't give people time to care. How can you always tell which side of the tint has the adhesive so you can cut on the right side? There are a few ways. When you tint for so long, you just know from your own rolls and experience. But most film rolls are liners on the outside, and it helps protect the film if somebody just like throws it back in the box. So the tint isn't on the outside. Lumar's opposite. I don't want to get into that. Lumar's just weird. But if I get flipped around, I will often check a pattern. And so I just peel it a lot of times. I'll just take a corner, I'll peel it apart, and literally just look. The other way, and this is more with the pattern when it's not as wet. I remember this more from telling people than actually doing. Oh, this piece is kind of wet too. So one side, if you just roll the film over on itself and you do this, see how the film is sticking? If I flip it to the other side, the film is sliding around. So one side is the tint, one side is the liner. The side that slides is going to be liner on liner. Here, it was peeled funny. See that? That's the liner side, that's the tint side. So if I go on this side, it slides around. If I flip it over and go this side, it doesn't want to slide around. It's more annoying for me to try and remember that. I just peel it. Okay, so we just shrunk that. We can install this side. Let me grab a stool over here. It always takes so long for me to grab the film. You can also use some Scotch tape. That does work. You got to remember to keep a roll of Scotch tape around. If you keep that handy, you can take a piece of tape, put it on the liner, and it'll help you peel it really easily. Wow, that's actually crazy. I had a friend who got a Lumar tattoo. They gave him a life insurance policy, personalized a plate on his vet, and they paid off his vet. Lumar 1. I wonder if he was a Lumar Formula 1 dealer. Sounds like that. What's he going to do now that they updated their logo? They just had a logo refresh, I think. Where's the rest of the tint? I got it all here. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the window. So line that up nice and flat. Then we're gonna roll up the tint portion. I leave it right about here. And then we just kind of flatten it out. We don't put a lot of pressure there. And then it just goes into the seal. Keep it flat. Pull this back, same thing. If you keep it nice and flat, it's not bunching up against the seal. And then it can go into the seal. The hardest part then is trying to push it, put enough pressure to sneak it into the seal if the seal is pressing really hard against the window. So sometimes the seal is so tight that you just have to like wiggle it up and down, really try and keep it fresh or flat and press against. Press against the glass to give yourself a little bit more freedom there. When's the next holiday sale? We have a running code that's just 313 tint that'll take 5% off tools, so you can always use that. The next foreseeable sale is probably just going to be Black Friday as far as big ones, but we might do something small for 4th of July. But if GeoShield does something on film, it reflects in ours too, so they might do something for 4th of July would be my only thought, but I haven't heard anything. Oh, that was a little fast. I tinted my Cadillac SRX by watching your videos. It turned out beautiful. What? You can't do that. You can't tint from YouTube videos. Some would say. That's awesome. Good job. I tried to fix my furnace the other day from watching videos. And you know what? I was able to diagnose the problem. Furnace was from 2022. And the blower went out. Fuckers. Highway robbery. Blower's under warranty, but not the labor. All right, let's peel this off. We can check it out. I want to get these quarter windows cut too. I'm going to do the whole back. Off the plotter. I was going to buy an Amazon kit, but I feel like a kit from somebody who actually knows what they're doing would be a better fit. Yes, and I've got a video. Look up Amazon Tint Tools, and you'll find older video that I posted. I bought 7 different kits. They have a lot of tools that are filler. Ceramic 5. So they're not ever things that you would use. Some of them are wrapping tools. Some of them are stupid. Oh yeah, my roll's right here. And some of them are cheesy knockoff imitations of actual good materials. So they take the same shapes. And in that video, you'll see how many tools look the same and then feel completely different, have a different plastic color, hue, texture. So there's like legitimately some good stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you end up buying that is just not very good. But you don't know what you're doing. They sell you a kit, and then you're like, I don't know. And then they just sell hundreds and hundreds of those. Do you need a license for GeoShield? No. Yes. Oh, we got instructions here. A tint license. Here, I'm gonna move this. I'm just gonna leave this here. So 313tint.com, you can save 5% on tools if you use code 313tint. All right, so we got to get a vehicle here. 2026, it is a Cadillac. CT5. We're going to grab the back windows. Option 1, option 2, option 3. Quality is much better on YouTube than TikTok. YouTube has better video processing. It'll be a little bit more delayed. It's hazy.
No, that's just the tint.
I just need actual tools like the stabber, stainless steel blades. Yeah, the blades are often not stainless steel as well. They just add blades. And so that can be dangerous and expensive. 15? We're actually doing 5. Close. It's dark. Are you streaming to? Yeah, we are both. Yeah, it's a trade-off. So more real time needs to be lower quality. YouTube puts everything through transcoding. I'm sure TikTok does that to some respect, but like it actually gets expensive. The funny thing about the actual shade of the car on camera is it always looks lighter. Camera exposure like changes and it always makes the films look lighter than they are. No way does that machine cut it for you. Well, I don't know what I'm installing right now then. Because that's what I was told. I'm gonna have to take it back. Be like, somebody in the comments told me that's not what it does. And you know what? Of all pieces, it's snagging. Oh, there we go. We're fine. Yeah, so there are softwares, and it's not a magical cure-all, but on a lot of vehicles, it's gotten really good depending on the software that you use. Yeah, so the plotter cuts through the film and not the liner. And then you can just peel out your pattern. But think of it this way. If you get like a tailor fit suit, that's what hand cutting is. Plotter is off the rack. There can be a little variance in windows that causes the patterns like to not line up, and then the patterns can themselves be inaccurate. So sometimes they're really, really, really good, and sometimes they just kind of suck. And that really depends on the quality of control of both the auto manufacturer and the pattern company. So it generally will save me time on windows that are more tedious to cut, like the rear quarters. But I still hand cut certain windows, some for fun and some because I'd much rather do that for knowing if it's really gonna fit. Is it difficult to change the blade on a workhorse too? No, not at all. The blade on a workhorse 2 is magnetic. You just pull it. You don't even have to unscrew anything. You actually don't want to unscrew anything. Because the screw will set the depth of it. So you just push on the top and it'll give you a little bit more to grab and you just... Are you using the gel on the edges? Yes. Yeah, gel's been great. I've been really happy with it. I tend to use it on quarter windows and windshields. It's fine on doors. You can use it on more variety of things. This has a pretty funny edge. I found out only using gel on PPF is bad. Yes. So gels are additives to like your installation. So the thing about slip solution is if it's just soapy water, water can run depending on the surface that it's sprayed. Because it's got soap, it will tend to hold together. But if this is just water and I spray it, it'll just run down in fine little beads. So what gel does is help hold your slip solution. So like if I just spray the window with some gel, I'm gonna coat it in my slip solution and it's gonna help keep everything floating longer. That's what it's really for in PPF. For window tint, you can do that, but also what gel's gonna do is act as a barrier and catch some of that dirt. And when you go to squeegee it out, it forces that dirt up and out. So it's not like a perfect cure-all, but it's been really nice and it's simple to do and it's not expensive, which is the best types of fixes. Bulletproof doors, no. That reminds me, I worked with a guy that would say the most outlandish shit. He had an old ass BMW, and man, he would say that thing was actually bulletproof. And you could like go walk up and look at it. And he's like, no, it's like legitimately bulletproof. And you just look at it and touch it. You're like, no, it's not bulletproof. That type of stuff was a daily occurrence. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, back window. Before I get the other door done, let's start getting some of this prepped so it's ready when I get to it. Squeegee. Oh, and oh yeah, they're over there. I'll just grab them over there. Actually, I don't know. Where did it go? There it is. What FPS is your camera streaming? 60. How you like the new squeegees on your website? Oh, they're great. I'd pick them up. They're selling pretty quick, and I'm hoping we'll be able to get more. So if you're interested, get them. I'm not just saying that. So Tri-Edge came out with a squeegee about like a year and a half ago, and it was an injection molded one, and they tried so many different materials, and it's pretty decent, but it was never my favorite. I talk to them really regularly. They came out with these ones, the Pros Blade Wax. This is my favorite type of material. It's very similar to the Hybrid and a Blue Max, which are typically within, because we were looking for one. This is a Hybrid, and then I got a bunch of Blue Maxes. This is a older Blue Max, but same type of deal. These ones are super nice. Glide really well. The orange one's more like a pink clean. Clear Crush, really soft. I use the blue one. It's medium, but it's a little bit softer than like a Blue Max would be. And then the teal is the hardest. That's more like a flat out. All right, so we gotta shrink this side. Can you use earwax? You could try. It might take you a while to produce one though. They call them the wax because they are very slippery. And they feel like a wax. That's what they told me. They're really nice. Ooh, we should get that quarter window over here too, huh? We are tinting some windows. Do you only shrink the bottom? On door windows, yes. It's because there's not as much on most doors to shrink. So it's just quick and easy to do the bottom. Oh, did it turn? Oh, man. Oh, yeah? Well, that was easy.
Yeah, it ran for 26 minutes.
Oh, shit.
It kept failing validation. It failed validation like 4 times.
So we might have a quick invoice.
It's,
Oh, you did it?
yeah, it's here. It's done.
Well, did you make one?
No,
Oh, yeah, that.
it was working.
Oh.
Of course it works. First try. It looks like it should work. I'm gonna republish it, but I'm not gonna test it in that server.
Does it look like it belongs? Or does it look completely different?
No, it looks like the creative. It looks just like the create a new appointment,
Okay.
but it doesn't have a calendar picker.
Oh, okay.
And then, so it's just one page. You pick. Here, you can see full screen.
Don't you love when it does that?
Okay, here, I'll just go to the beginning. Create quick invoice. So this is familiar,
Yep.
what we have.
Okay, and the services,
And
yep.
then when you're done, it just takes you to the same payment thing that the other one does.
Oh, okay, so it brings up the payment window.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. Yep, I like that.
That's the simplest way to do it. So it's like a 2-step. And then this does create an appointment with no time that you can save to the calendar. So you can see like,
So, okay.
So it gets saved as, for appointment history for that contact. It shows there, but it doesn't have a time.
But what time does it put them at?
It doesn't have a time. It's just like an event that happened that day.
So where would it, if you click on the calendar, like the monthly, will it show like in that list?
It should. I'll create one. Make sure.
Okay. I could see that being just a little weird with like the hourly. So if somebody has like a day, a couple appointments on a day full or something like that, where does it plop them? That's cool. I think we should take out. I think when people get to the pay thing, it should show the services, an option to add a discount / change the services, and then just how did they pay, and then after they click that, it can show the rest of it. Failed. Well, that's why it took 26 minutes. Like, wait, what? That's what worries me a little bit. Is like it probably just built a bunch of shit on the back end and it just used what we already had.
Watching it, I mean,
Oh, okay.
I monitor it. I like to know what it's doing because it helps me learn and understand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I know it's your product, but who actually developed the website or whatever? Mark. Mark and me. Mark's done more of the heavy lifting though.
Some of the other ones, some things I've been stuck on. That phone call thing, they kind of took over, and I'm kind of not mad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the phone call was a detour. And it's still a little bit iffy. But phone calls work. It's the interchanging that like mostly works, and then you run into a random little hiccup here and there, but it doesn't really break it. I love our calling workflow now. It's so nice. It's more enjoyable to talk to customers on the phone now. A big goal of mine has been to take things that I don't really like and try and make them enjoyable to use. And I just don't like taking phone calls. Oh, okay, I'll restart that. Because I'm inactive. Need to build a watcher for that.
Yep, I'll build an app that watches the screen. Set up a little camera that just watches it for you.
Actually. Discontinued. What were we gonna do?
Tie it into Twilio so it sends you a text message.
Oh yeah, we're gonna restart that one. There we go. That was quick and easy. Nice. All right, we got a quarter window to do. So let's shrink this. Did I leave a blade here? Oh, I did, and it fell. Okay, let's grab that. But yeah, it's been fun. Oh, look, I got a lead. Okay. Hang on. Watch this. Watch this. Shh. Watch this fun stuff. Okay, so I got a lead, right? So that's somebody that went to the website, filled out a form, or was in an ad. Watch this, watch this, watch this. AI is drafting a reply. I haven't really watched this in real time. I usually catch this afterwards. It'll be total, but the windows are gonna look clean. Facts. Okay. Sweet. So it made one. Let me go back. Let me make sure. Sometimes it takes a second for it to pop up. Where's my quarter pro? Where's my quarter pro? I had it. Did I leave it somewhere? No, I like that thing. I have a second one sitting around, but I shouldn't have lost that one, and it can't be far. Okay. So, lead came in. This is the message window for that customer. 2015 Ford Escape. So this is kind of the information about it, that they filled out the form. Notes 35 on the front windshield, 15 on the rest, or 20 all the way around. And so what we have is a draft mode. There's a lot of stuff here, but basically lead comes in. Here's the information about the lead. This is in text message window. And then AI created a quote, but in case I want to change something, like let's say I got it wrong or I didn't put my pricing in right or something like that, I can click this button and I can edit any information about that quote. Front doors, full windshield. This is the service that it was. Full vehicle and windshield, and pricing is correct on that. So that's all good. And then it drafts a message. So that message, you can edit it if you just didn't like it. I don't like the double dash thing, so we're just going to do that. And I'm just going to click send. Boop. Just like that. So customer has a quote. Do I show you? Should I show you guys the quote? We should show you guys the quote. Let me click on the link. There's your quote. Here are the options. You can pick what you want, and then you can go straight to book and book your appointment. But it'll show me if they viewed it, how long they viewed it, what options they clicked, and then if they approve it, I'll get another window that says it's approved and breakdown of everything. So I really like running ads, but the sheer amount of leads that you get from running ads that then you have to like call and follow up with, talk to, and like, don't get me wrong, calling is good, but it's nice to have a little presentation for them. So we took all of that and streamlined it. So now all the heavy lifting gets done for you, and then you can review it and tweak the pricing or whatever you need to, and then send it. We have an auto mode too, so it'll just like send it, but right now I want to review everything to make sure it's accurate. And then you're gonna have the occasional person that just like, oh hey, I got an 80 something whatever. Ew, this has a speck in it. Ew, that's like a piece of sand. That was gonna get destroyed anyways. Big speck. Look at that. I even ripped a hole in the tint with that. Let's cut another one. Where'd my quarter pro go is actually the better question. Go to cut board. It's gonna be this one, and since we got a longer roll, we might as well cut two. There it is. Why'd I put it there? That's Tintly. Tintly.io. But that's your actual text message window. So you can just text them, call them. All your phone calls will have recordings that you can play back, review transcripts, autofill customer information. Because there's so many like fun tools out there now, and they all need to kind of be like mashed together in some way that makes everybody's life easier.
It created a 30-minute appointment. So it just takes the time from today. It just says from 2:40 to, I'm guessing I made it at 2:40.
Okay.
But it just put in a 30-minute appointment for guys completed with the job and the vehicle customer. For the payment price.
That's probably a good option for now. I don't love
Yeah,
that.
I hate it. I don't love that it takes the time in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
But
If that's,
realistically, that's probably when the appointment was, like it just happened.
you're right.
But is that gonna mess with future availability if somebody allows like same-day appointments? But it's completed, so it wouldn't be blocking. So I don't know. So it checks for openings, it's checking for open slots, not completed.
thinking.
I'm asking you what it thinks.
Yeah, it's fine. Because on the other hand, then you got to build like a somewhere to view them in everything that's already kind of taken real estate by things that show time. And you don't want to separate it too much. So, yeah, what do you do? Because I just don't want to have to then review every single calendar view either. So, like, having it just be like a 30-minute, like, it's because it's got to take up enough space so you can read it and all that fun stuff. Oh, are we short? Oh, I didn't notice that because I'm looking down at it. Oh, that's a no-no. We can't do that. That's why I have two. I'm thinking and not paying attention. Maybe if I hand cut it, I'd pay more attention. It's too easy to get another pattern for it. I just placed it a little bit high, and like I'm covered at the angle I'm looking. So when I look at the inside, there's a gap. We don't like that. Better. Better, better, better. That the tint goes on the outside. Dang it! I got us. Oh, we're using GeoShield C2 carbon. Alexis ES350 rear window. Ooh, probably need a bigger one. What year range? I'll tell you. I just had one. This is 2019 to 2025. I'm pretty sure they're bigger. I just had one. There's a 36. This is a 24. Yeah, there's no way you could on a 24. 36. Is that core? It is core. That's what we just cut this pattern off of. Probably should have put it on the window so it has a chance to dry. I hand cut the doors, and I plotter cut the quarters in the back window. Just to mix it up. For tint, core is $200 a month. About to buy some tools from you? Appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions. Use code 313Tint. All right, we're gonna shrink it. Not a lot to shrink on this one. Pretty flat back window. See, this is what happens when you leave it overlapping the trunk. See that? It's not ruined. It just, anything that's up will cause the film to, the tension to kind of like pull it back. So if we then trim it short, see, now it stays. Just some of you guys leave your patterns overlapping the sides. Overlapping a trunk. Always want to make sure it's cut short of that stuff. Danger, danger. Apex? No, this is C2 carbon. Wait, didn't you cover the whole window? Because we're sloppy. This is AI slop tinting. We cover all the visible parts. So you'll see once we get it installed, it'll cover everything that's visible. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. You know, I don't see those. I don't see those in customers' cars typically. I kid. It's okay. You'll get real answers too. Oh, that was rude. There we go. Rude again. Oh, and it knows I'm short. There we go. You scared of AI replacing window tint installers? Yes. This back window was AI'd. It was cut out on the plotter. Program cut. Like actually, I cut it out on that machine right there. Dude, if anything, we need more. We like the way we use AI. We need more of it. What I've noticed is like there is the status quo, and then there's tools that enable you to do more. And that's the way of everything. Technology progresses and it makes something easier, and then you now look at everything being easier, and you don't just do the same things. You then take more stuff on and move faster. Or it enables you to do something else. So it's like, oh, it's taking away all these jobs and doing this and doing that. The way we use it, we just like, ugh, can it work faster? Can it get things more accurate? Shit, man, we've maxed it out. But it's also the way that companies are slamming it down everybody's throat that is tiresome. But if you actually like use it, it's very helpful. What's the AI cutout machine? I'm gonna make a video and I'm just gonna call it the AI cutting machine. And people are gonna look at plotters in a completely different light. See? AI is taking over window tint. And they'll be like, oh, all the window tinters are gonna be like, it's a plotter. What? And all the normies are gonna be like, oh, what? Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna grab, what tool do we need for this? A bulldozer? Pretty much a bulldozer. And a clay bar. Let's grab that too. And the tint that's in the sink. Probably don't need that there. sprayer. Apologize. It's going to be a little harder to see because I actually got to get up in here. Like a hanger? Should we revisit that? Maybe like a hanger here? 15 all around and 50 front, good. Ooh, that's really nice. 50 is kind of the sweet spot. If you just don't want to draw attention to your windshield, keep the sides like nice and dark enough. 15 to 50, or sorry, 15 to 5 is kind of a bigger jump. I never liked going all the way down to 5. I'd stuck up in like the 15 to 20% range. So like if I wanted to go with a darker look, I would generally go 15 on the front. Sometimes like if it's an SUV, 5 on the rear. Just because I'm not really looking through those windows much, but 15 is really good too. And then 35 on the shield. But I always felt like I was gonna get in trouble for that one. So I would lighten up the windshield sometimes to 50. And right now we have 35, which is too light. But it's, you never get worried driving past a cop. It's 35, it's fine. What's your opinion on low eagle haze on ceramic films? Oh, I hate it. I don't install films that have that. It made it really challenging to even want to stock in the early days because they all had haze to them. And now that there's been so much R&D on ceramic films, there's ones that have gotten way better and they're indistinguishable. They're super clear. You don't get that kind of haze anymore if you use a good one. But there's still a lot of cheaper films that use the old tech. That's how they're cheaper. Lower grade materials, and they have that haze. So I just never really saw the point of that trade-off to where, hey, I'm blocking a lot of heat. But now it's hard to see out of my windows on a sunny day, which is kind of the point of having window tint. Do any of Geosho's film have haze? No. Or I wouldn't be installing them. They were one of the first in this space. And in the early days, they had a film called Dark Matter. And it did have haze, but they all had haze. They don't have that anymore. Wow, what a flat window. Right, bulldozer. Let's go look at it. What happens if you don't dry your sheet and just shrink it wet? You have to shrink it differently. Look up wet shrinking videos. There's just a different technique to it. But if you look at a dry shrinking video and try and shrink, it's very difficult and messy. Because the water keeps it cold and makes it stick to the glass. A dryer sheet lets the film float so you can shrink much more evenly and actually look at the film shrinking. So I just don't recommend wet shrinking, really. Can you install PPF on Windows? Yeah, it's called windshield protection film. There are some security films for automotive. They're mostly sold overseas. Haneda Tech / Avery Dennison was manufactured over in Israel. They had a few security films, and it was way more popular over there. They would do like a 12 mil and a 4 mil and make the windows bullet resistant. I got to play around with the 4 mil, but it was orange peely. It wasn't as clear, so I never ended up doing anything with it. It was cool to look at, though. Shit's like cardboard, though. So you'd really want to bottom load the window. It's shrunk, though. It's kind of nice. I installed it on an Explorer. I always thought PPF or windshield protection film would be kind of good on the outside of doors and windows, but it would make it really expensive. But for areas with high break-ins, like California especially, there's people that just park with their vehicles open, from what I understand, just because break-ins are so common. I heard 3M security tint is popular in Mexico. Yeah, I could see that. And what else do we need? So the rear is done. Doors are done. Headrests. That's what we need to put in next. I'm gonna leave these here. I'm gonna come back to them. Gonna make sure that the back window is all wiped off. But we got the full front windshield to do on this one. I gotta re-prep a little bit of this. You know what? Yes. I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do? Windshield protection films, they're making way. They're getting there. I don't know how much longer it'll be, but scratch resistance is improving. Costs are gonna come down. I think they'll be pretty normal. I'd imagine you'd be able to get one for like $300. How do you continuously record on live with this POV? You can see it here. I just have a phone. That goes to my computer, and then I stream it. I wish I could use meta glasses this way. It'd be far easier. I used to have a GoPro on my head. Yeah, the battery life just isn't there. Streaming isn't there. I look up here and there. I would put a battery pack on it though. But the meta displays, if they come out with like a marketplace or have a web browser, then I'll probably pick them up. Then I could have chat on my eyeball. And I think it'd be cool to like, they sell these thin little wires that hook up to the nose bridge and you can put a battery bank on it. It'd be really cool to stream at the same time, but that's probably too much for that little thing. Maybe I should just get the regulars. Actually, they're probably not very good to stream with. If Apple does something, that would be very cool. I doubt anybody's really going to have a focus on streaming. There was a little bit of hope with Streamlabs and Meta, because they were working on their app together, but nothing's come out yet. So I don't know if that's just, it doesn't have enough power. We'll talk about it, drum up some hype, and then things kind of fell apart, or they're still working on it. But from what I've heard, they're so processor constrained and battery life constrained on the glasses, so they don't want to open up apps that'll just like suck all the battery and you can use it for like 10 minutes. So that's why it's so restricted to the apps that they are right now. There's not enough power. How long does shipping take to Pontiac? Well, it's still got to go through USPS. You could come here and just pick it up. You could just like drive on over in the next half hour, and we're about 30 minutes away from there. We don't have the film here, but we do have the tools. What's your shrink prep? I use a Snuggle dryer sheet. It just plays really nicely with Geo films. Could I just pull up anytime and buy in store or just online? No, you can definitely show up. We're typically here from 9 to about like 3-ish most days. But yeah. Yeah, we sell tools in person. Detroit Tint Studio. We're around the back corner of the building. Come on in.
The watchdog was calculating cost at 5x the rate of what the rate actually is.
Oh, so it was
That
just.
usage is about 5 times more than what it should be.
Oh, so it actually was that much.
No. It showed the amount that we saw is about 5 times higher than what it actually is. Because it was calculating.
Oh.
It was calculating the haiku usage at the opus rate.
Okay,
So
okay.
it was actually using the right version and right tokens, but it was logging it incorrectly.
Okay. That's good. So when it was added to an account, the only thing that I discovered with the usage is that it scanned every single message.
Yeah.
So I just told it to not do that. Like, or it scanned every single existing message, and I guess it didn't need to do that? Or was there a reason to do that?
Well, its whole purpose is to scan every outgoing message.
But if messages already, like, it took every single message, so like messages from, months ago.
Oh, yeah.
It basically went through every single message. So that's where and then it put all that on the user.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey. So I had told it, or I asked about that, like when it's added to an account, did it need to do that? And it's like, oh no, probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't need to do that. That's correct.
Okay. So that's the only tweak that I did. But yeah, if all the usage is accurate, that's great, because I have it still up in the bar, and I've just been keeping an eye on how fast it goes down, and it's pretty slow. It's like pennies.
How much we use it, it is pretty slow.
Yeah, like everything's tied into AI, and it's doing a bajillion things. The voice, what am I looking for? Transcriber, AI call screener, like all that stuff. There's so many AIs on that. There's AIs on it.
There's 92 different AI calls. I had to count. The one day. Because we were only charging or tracking or logging like 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, hey, we need to track these somewhere and somehow.
Speaking of that, I need to track my seat covers. Where the fuck? No, they're sitting. They gotta be sitting somewhere. I can't imagine donating 2. But I've been like looping because I've been looking for like one more, and I'm like, wait, where is it? I usually have 5 of them just sitting right here. Who tinted the last car? Oh, that was me. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go grab one. I want to put it over the center console. Do you need, or do you do mobile? No. No, I don't like leaving my cave. I've done mobile. Mobile's just a different breed of business. There's some big pros and cons to it. So like if you're purely mobile, going around from customer to customer, the problem is the distance in between all those customers and dealing with everything outside that you have to deal with it. Mobile is all cons. The one big pro is it's this major customer convenience in theory, right? Like I can bring it to you. So I hope for mobile it helps with an increased ticket. Oh, here's that Blue Maxon hybrid, by the way. I had those sitting here. Nice. God, there's just everything missing right now. Where's my push sticks? Oh, here's another ruler. That's good to know. Those go missing too. The jibber jabber's in there. There's too many flat surfaces to put things on. Oh, it's all here, that's why. That's why I can't find it. It's opposite around here, mobile guys with no overhead. Slap shit on. Yeah, it should be opposite. Like a true convenience for a customer should cost more because you have your time, drive, everything to go out there. Yes, you don't have the same overhead, but if you put a value on your time, that's the biggest problem. Do we take this off? We should look at it at least. I'm inclined to say no, but they're generally not hard to take off. The classic little clip here. The one comes off and the other one just doesn't. Oh, and they did the double dealy. Oh wait, no, they may not have. That would be nice. We'll see. There's way too many tinters in the world. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw these out. Why do we have T25s? This is a T25. We don't need T25s, we need T20s. And then this happens. This one. This is a T15, I think. Yes! Wow. I thought that was going to be a video one. If it is, they just simplified everything. That's nice. Cool. Nah. So, oh yeah, we were talking about mobile. Mobile for me was going from shop to shop rather than customer to customer. because your volume is just severely cut down when you're running around, and the amount of cars that people give you are generally less when you're going from customer to customer. And then if you have an issue that you have to fix, you then have to drive back out for nothing else other than to fix that car. So that's why you have a lot of these like cheap, sketchy mobile guys that charge less, do a shitty job, and then ghost the customer. Because they didn't make enough on the job to make it worthwhile to go fix. They got their $200, and the customer was initially happy because he's like, oh, well, I found a guy for $200 that'll come out here. And it's like, well, that's what it gets you. How can I find customers as mobile? It's harder. You need to work on a website and run ads a little bit more than a shop does. You can still have a maps location area. I think it's probably worth setting a physical location, even though you don't have one, and then just make it very clear that it's mobile tinting service. But it's like, this is your home base, like a landscaping company. My uncle's landscaping company has their house as their headquarters, but they're 100% mobile. They're going to houses. Nobody's coming there for their lawns cut, right? So like landscaping people deal with the exact same thing, where you can have service zones, but it's worth having like a map spot. So if somebody's searching landscaping, window tinting, then you have an actual location that pops up, but in the title it says mobile window tinting service, and then you can get reviews. Displayed a lot easier. Destroying the car battery. God, if only those things could recharge or something. Ooh, 40? Holy shit. Somebody just said they tried to register on Groupon and they're trying to get 40% commission. Fuck that. Oh my God. Yeah, people don't do very well in Groupon. Groupon's dead. I don't know that for sure. That's anecdotal. But I have some good insights on Groupon from like 2010. Groupon was super popular there for a little bit. And we ran it. We had a sales guy negotiate terms with them because Groupon's going to fight for the best deals for their customers. They want people to use the platform. And that means fucking the business as hard as they can. They want big commissions. They want the shops to give away as much as possible, because like that's the point of Groupon, is like these insane deals, and they'll promise you a bigger customer base and more traffic and stuff. But what often happens is that customer is so deal focused that they're not upsold on your other services. So it might work really well for certain small things where you could then add other things. But when it comes to automotive services, most people are not getting like, hey, a full tint job and then what? Which is what they want you to give away. So what we worked out with them before was 2 front windows. And then the idea is like maybe we could sell them on the rest of the vehicle or the full windshield. But we just saw so many people like they redeemed it. They didn't even hardly want to talk to us. No, I'm just here for the deal. And then once they're done, they never came back because, you know, there aren't that many repeat. It's not like a food service. It's not like, oh, you know, get you in on this amazing brisket and then you're hungry again and you'll come back out, right? Like, it's not really great for automotive services. So for, like, I used it for eyeglasses before. You get like a free eye exam and then they get you in to sell you lenses and the other stuff. Or then you get like $100 off of frames, but their margins are so good that they can do that. I think at most we paid them 20% though. But yeah, that commission on top of it is just brutal. They want you to give away your service at a discount because it's Groupon, and then they want a commission on top of it. Like, there's no money there. So when it comes to advertising, it's important to know the intent of the person on the platform. Not all ad services are created equal. So your most popular ones are going to be Meta and Google. And just think about how a user uses it. Google is, I'm looking for a thing. So it's an intent-based search. Facebook is like billboards. You're scrolling through your feed, something catches your eye, more impulsive, maybe you were a serious buyer, but you're gonna have a lot more general inquiries and people that'll just waste your time. So right now, it'd be easy for us to add Meta with the system that we have. We don't run our own ads, but being able to handle those leads really easily is important because you're gonna get a certain amount that just we're never gonna book, but you still have to deal with them because you paid for the lead. So like, why would you throw it away? So what I have less experience with Facebook, just like personally, on more recently dealing with them. I ran some in like 2020, and I even built a system back then to kind of deal with all the inflow from that, because I'd have people directly message me and they'll ask you like 20 questions and then just never book. Or you have people that'll say they'll schedule an appointment and then they just never showed up. So I had this workflow where people would go through a pre-built template that's like, what type of vehicle do you have? And then it would kind of determine their starting price. And then it would ask if they want to schedule. And if they said yes, then I would take over and talk to them. That helped a lot. Google's still a mix. You have like warm-ish leads. They're interested in window tinting, but they're not sold on you. They're just like, yeah, I'll see how much they're going to cost. So that's why your landing pages really matter. So like when they click on that ad, on Google, all it is a link, and then they open a page. And so what you want to do on your end is give them as much of a reason to use your service as you possibly can. You're trying to directly talk to them on like what their problem is. So if you just funnel people to your overall website, that doesn't always work as well as funneling them through like a page that's specific to like their needs. So that's where having a company take care of that kind of stuff can be well worth it. if they've got like the proper flows in there. I want to explore that whole world a little bit more and just get sidetracked with everything else. Do you have a heat display to upsell ceramic? Yes. It's the best, most simple way to explain the differences. Because you can say, this film's better than that, this film blocks more heat, but like, you know from having it, and so you need to give the customer who's never seen it and maybe only heard about it, like, you don't need to show every single customer. If they're already like, yeah, I want to get ceramic, then you're not trying to sell them ceramic. They already want ceramic, so then you're just going over options, right? But if you have somebody that comes in who's, yeah, I'm new to tinting, like, hey, have you ever gotten your car tinted before? No, this is my first one. Excited to get it done? All right. Well, then you want to ask them some questions. Like, do you have anything in mind? Figure out, like, shades they're going to do, and then the last thing that I do is I'll introduce them to the heat box. Like, let's figure out what we're going to do on your car first. And then here's the biggest difference between these films right now. Which one do you want to get? What happens if you don't use a dryer sheet? Dryer sheet. The film just sticks a lot to the glass, so wet shrink, baby powder, like there's a few other things that you can use, but if you just put film on glass, it generally doesn't go as well. Like it sticks and it doesn't stick. It's just different. Dryer sheet toxic AF. Yeah. Yeah, spraying and breathing soap probably isn't great for us either. I'm not going to pretend. It's just the way we do things right now. Did you try soap? Yes. I don't like it as much, and I can see why people do. It depends on your film and just how you like what you like. I tried a few different soap bars, and it just I didn't have the same type of tack. So I like using Snuggle a little bit better. It just works really well with these films. But I put another film on there and tried it with Snuggle, and it was a little bit aggressive. So I might like a soap bar better for that film. That looks just like my car. Nice. Dove, yep, I've tried that. Ivy soap, I've tried a few. Irish Springs is really popular too. You know what's crazy though? There was a dish soap that I used in the Philippines, and I have to remember what it was. I could find out, but it worked really well. I was in a carport, and I tinted a full windshield, and I didn't bring a dryer sheet. And so I just like took that, put it on a sponge, and it worked really well. I was happy with it. But then I tried Dawn here and a few other ones, and it just didn't work as well. So, I don't know. Palm olive as tint solution. Yeah, a lot of people use just regular soaps. There's a lot you can use as a soap. We have more of a list of what you can use, and there's lots of categories that people just haven't tried yet. I mean, I tinted a window before with a Tide Pod. That worked. I don't know if it's good for the film, but it worked. I had soapy milk water and tinted a window, and that turned out fine. I bet you could dry shrink with ketchup if you really want to. Okay, so on this one, we're gonna use some gel on all the edges. We're just razor blading it off first. Well, everything went to course, learned from videos and training. A couple mechanic friends brought me good customers. How's it going? You inspired me. Aw, you're too nice. Weird angle, weird angle. Ugh. It's hard to hunch forward when you have a camera on your neck. You just don't have as much space. Oh shit, I can't see the screen now. Hang on. I gotta read that question. I can almost see it. Chevy Silverado, extended cab, back door, roll down windows. I'm confused. I was 22, is doing DoorDash 90 hours a week, but now I'm happy with my tint business. Bought a plotter. Oh, that's super cool. Congrats, man. Good for you. Way to take it upon yourself to learn a skill. That's a fair point. Using a plotter because it's windy outside, impossible to hand cut. You know, that should be like a really obvious thing for me, but I didn't really think of it that way. I get like people dragging around a plotter in a trailer and cutting out patterns, but I'm like, man, I just wouldn't want to haul a plotter around. I was mobile and I didn't care. I didn't get to bring a plotter around. Fuck that. I don't want a trailer. But if you're doing it outside, it'll save yourself dealing with that. That's actually really nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Learn something from you. I don't know why. I never really thought of it that way. Okay, I need gel. I just sat down and I need gel. I'm getting my steps in today. Okay. So this is already it's cleaned off, minus our last little spray and squeegee and gel. So that's what we're doing now. And then we're gonna roll this one. This is where I get more nervous. Because I can do a good windshield, but something dumb can make it not good. And that drives me crazy. If I could go back to not doing windshields, that'd be really nice. I don't hate doing them. I just don't love it. Okay. Gels. All right, let's go. I charge $300 for a carbon on a cord. Use Reno, full car with windshield. That's definitely cheaper. I wouldn't like to do a full car with a windshield at that price. But every shop is different, every business is different. Can take time to figure it all out. What makes people want to tint their windshield? That's nice. You can block heat. You can add privacy. It's more comfortable to drive with because you don't have that harsh sun glare anymore. UV. I think there's quite a few reasons to do a windshield. Here's the thing about business, though. It's hard to stand out if you're doing the same thing as everybody else. So when you look the same, sound similar, everything sounds the same to the customer. You have to figure out a way to introduce yourself better. Sell better. Talk to people better. You got to figure out how to just do everything better. It's like there's so many, oh, there's too many tinners, there's too many of this, there's too many of that. That's in any good industry. It's like there's always too many people. And then that competition drives innovation. And people get better, technology gets better, everything gets better. But you can have a business that is built on people just, low supply, higher demand. And then when there's more supply, you need to drum up more demand or catch that demand that's out there. And so everybody is playing with, well, not everybody. A lot of people are playing with everybody else's customers. So, like, some of the best business is referrals. And that's because you're getting people to recommend other people that maybe have not thought about getting tint, but now their friend got it. And so they're like, oh, and you had a good experience and you went here? Perfect. You just solved all their problems. And then they come to you. They didn't have to do any research. They know that they can trust the establishment. Like, everything's good there. I've always thought one of the best, most interesting avenues that probably has not been very explored is like everybody goes to auto businesses, but what about doctors' offices? Skin cancer patients, eye doctors. It's always worth asking. You might find a completely different customer base that nobody knew existed. Business is all about thinking differently than everybody else. Those are the people that really win. They either think differently or are better at executing. I've brought this one up a few times. I still really want to try it. I might turn it into a business too. Here we go. Hang on. There. Got it. I think what would be really cool. Do I say this again? Is if you are in flat glass, it'd be even cool for automotive, I think. Woo! There we go. I grabbed a little bit. Gotta be careful. Okay, so flat glass leads, right? Why not have these really nice mailers or packets that you would deliver to homes with actual window film samples that customers could hang on their windows. You don't have to do everything. You could do like your most popular, like 3 or 4 options. A nice folded thing. Open it up. There's your film samples. Easy little stick on. Hang these on your windows. Feel the difference. See the difference. That's got to land you a job, right? I think that'd be super cool. But I think you have to put samples in there. I think a direct mailer could be okay. But I think if you put film samplers, that would put it over the edge. That'd make it like super cool. And that helps your sales process too. Like, oh, you got the samples already? Which one do you like the best? They've already put it up. They lived with it. Oh, I like this one. We want to get this on our house. When can we do it? Bada bing, bada boom. I opened a small tile business 3 or 4 years ago. It pays great and nobody around me in my area does it. Nice. Don't tell your friends. Keep that shit secret. No, that's where we get a lot of people coming out to the classes asking about heavy equipment too. Like, yeah, I just kind of live out in the sticks. And there's all this heavy machinery around. And so I get asked about tinting that. It's like, oh, wow, that's way different than here. Nobody asks us about heavy machinery because we're just far away from it. So the business that I really like to do, but again, it's work. Everything's worth doing is work. Is getting all the samples cut and the mailers put together. I think that'd be really, really cool. Thank you for teaching me how to tint years ago. Craig from Indy. Oh, cool, man. What's up? All right, we're gonna try and get a better view of this. Woo. I'm not left-handed. Much harder to do left-handed. Now I cross our fingers. I feel like that went really well. But you never know until you start sweeping it off. Now I'm thinking about the mailer business again. I think that'd be cool. Oh, it's 4. Looks good. Oh, I like it. Yeah, it turned out nice. Blackwing? No, V series though. Oh, it's a Cadillac. You're right on that. CT5. CT5V. Okay, I need towels. We'll start wiping this down. Go grab a glass cleaner. We did 5 all the way around, and maybe 20 on the windshield. Better. Got my dream car thanks to tinting and watching your streams. That's super cool. What'd you get? And if you say something annoying like a C6 Corvette, you're gonna be banned. (2023) Camaro. Okay, that's cool. Much easier. I had a friend that always had a habit of getting cars that were annoying to tint. It's like, oh, you're gonna like this one. He was one of the C6s that was on stream. I'm like, God damn it. Of course you did. That's nice. I'm very happy with that. I haven't had the, oh shit, what's that? Happen. Thankfully. You know, you're looking at it and then you're like, oh fuck, there's something there. I haven't seen it. Thankfully. So, I think we're good on this one. Just the normal cleanup. It should be all done. Gotta put the mirror back, gotta wipe down the back window. What happens if you don't use a dryer sheet on the rear glass? You just have to shrink it differently. I've had this question a few times today. Dryer sheets, soap bars, dry shrink prep, water, like they're all just things that help you shrink in a particular way. Baby powder is one of them. So the goal is to get the film to fit the curve of the glass, right? So if you just put the tint on the window, it like kind of like it sticks a little bit and then it pops. Like it's just funny. You just have to learn how to deal with it. So personally, I was taught with dryer sheets. I've practiced a little bit with a guy that used baby powder. Baby powder less toxic? I don't know. There's all this, what, Johnson & Johnson lawsuit about baby powder too? Ooh, oops. I don't know. I think that stuff is constantly being rediscovered as, well, we got all the microplastics in bottles too. Like, fucking everything's coming for us. everything. I'm probably gonna redo this one. Yeah, I'm gonna redo this one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like up in this corner, and then something's happening with this corner. There's like something there. Oh, this is one of those weird seals. I forgot about that. I think I'm gonna have to revisit that one. I just picked up my Model 3 from getting tinted. I was curious, since they're frameless and roll down, does that miss with anything while they're drying? No, it'll be fine. There's nothing that you're gonna be able to do or can do. And Teslas get tinted all the time. It's literally inside their app when you're getting the car. So there's enough of them on the road. The tint needs to dry before the windows are rolled down is more dependent on the film and the installer. So it's generally a non-issue nowadays for most people, especially if you're probably going to them for your Tesla. There's a lot of random questions about Teslas too, because it's like, do I have to be more careful because it's an EV? No. But Tesla is well aware that their cars are being tinted, and they actively encourage it in their app when you're buying a vehicle through them. Yeah, that one's cool. I'm gonna redo the other one. I'm not as much of a fan. Should probably let them know. Let's get this in here, shoot them a message, and then we'll wrap up that quarter. That plugs in. That plugs in. This screw gets screwed. Oh, sorry, I missed that part. I just picked up my car from being tinted. No, I'll just leave the windows alone. I mean, and they should tell you if there's anything. Like, leave the windows up for a few days. It's generally recommended, but because Teslas shift up and down, like, it doesn't really matter. But they tinted it, not me. So if something does happen, it's not on you, but you'd want them to take care of it. So follow whatever guidelines that they give you. Nice. Just like new. What car? This is a CT5 V. About to get all my tools from you. Oh, appreciate it. Wrong app. Okay, let me message them. Oh, we got a quote. We got to send this one. Yes. Oh, I probably read this too fast. Interesting. Gotta read that better. Ah, 5 leads. Okay. All right. Let's take a look-see again at this one. Vehicles. Cadillac rear. Let's delete that. Let's duplicate that. Let's cut. Quarter windows are funny. They've got the rubber on the that overlaps the outside of it. Usually it's opposite. So that edge. Just wasn't happy with that, along with a couple of speckles that I saw that I could take care of. Just, the other one turned out so nice. Everything else turned out so nice. It was a little bit above what I'd typically deem as okay. $24, too small for the Lexus ES rear glass. I answered that one. I even pulled it up on stream. Yes, too small. You need a 36. No, it's over there. Or no, it's right here. Oh, I found it. $20.25. I just tinted one. One of my last stream, literally the last stream, was that Cadillac. I pulled the front seals That's a really good thing to know. The ES has really annoying front seals or front doors because they don't give you much space. So you can pop the door panels back super easily and pull out those seals. 10 out of 10 recommend that. I wanted to avoid that. Oh, dude, I don't take apart many doors. It's so easy. There's no screws. You pull it back. There's a little pin that comes out at the top, like a little rubber one that pulls back and the whole thing just pops right out. I show putting it back all together in the last stream. So if it's something that I'm gonna do on stream, I mean, they're not all easy, but I'm just, in general, if I'm gonna pull apart a panel, if it was difficult, I probably wouldn't have streamed it in the same way. Usually you have to remove the complete panel to reassemble. No, that's the older ones. He's got a 2025. You're talking about like the 2010s, which you're right about that. And I learned the hard way from that one. People are like, oh, the seals pop out really easily. Cool, popped it out, trying to figure out how to get that fucker back in. And then I see comments saying, yeah, but it's really difficult to get back in. It's like, you son of a bitch. Why would you not say that up front? You know? Annoying. Damn it. We're gonna do the same amount of quarter windows on each side, aren't we? Okay, trim this, but just not as heavy. Just a smidge. Yeah, the silver one in the last stream, I reassemble it on stream. So reverse engineer that. No screws. You could accidentally pop the panels off by grabbing the door. They're so they're easy. Pop back, pop in. Big chunky seal comes out. Tinting it is far harder than removing those seals. If I was like no experience doing anything, tinting or removing seals, like come on. Removing the seals out of that super easy. Okay, there we go. Try baby powder in a stream? No, thank you. It's not fun. It doesn't stick. It's just completely different. It's like we have wet shrinking, we have dry shrinking. That is like float shrinking. Look up baby powder window tint video shrinking. You'll find a few. They exist. Oh, good, that's on the outside. I was like, there better not be the exact same speckles I just removed. Oh, it looks like it too. But it's all on the outside. Whew. Like I cleaned that too many times for that. Yeah, it's very weird. But I didn't come up with the concepts of shrinking. There's no way I would have. We know what we know now. There's still weird things people use and all types of shit people are still figuring out these days. Like gel just became a thing. That should have been a thing way longer. Way longer ago. I didn't think of that. That's better. I'm going to say on this one, take a blade, run it behind it. You'll get a better edge. And then you can sneak the film behind it. Yeah, that looks infinitely better than it did before. It's going to be dark. Wait, what about gel? Do I gotta explain it again today? Installation gels. So people are using, like, I'll just use PPF gel as an example. Like Instagel to help keep all the edges clean. Make sure I don't need this. So when I installed the windshield on this one, cleaning is done normal. Razor, squeegee, your normal cleaning process. Before you coat the whole window in your slip solution, you can take like a PPF gel. I have one called Instagel. There's another popular one called Important Sauce. And you just spray the edges, like the sides and the top, where your water is going to trail back in. And it does a couple things. It can act as a little like dirt barrier, so it keeps your water from running and just dragging stuff out of the corners. And then it also helps when you squeegee. It's a gel, so it catches some dirt and pushes it back. So especially in areas that are just harder to get a squeegee at and keep clean, like all along up in here, it's gonna be really effective. You could use it on the sides of doors. So like these edges, you'll see people use it on sides and the top edge. It can help anywhere. I tend to use it exclusively on like quarters and windshields. Big fan. I need my Slim Slam. Okay. Slim Slam, and it's gonna be all done. What else is new? I don't know. I don't know what you haven't heard about. Not really. I mean, these squeegee blades actually have come out within the last like 2 weeks. Tri-Edge has some squeegee blades called the Wax series. These are super nice. They've replaced the Hybrid and the Blue Max. Probably permanently. Oh, this is new too. We have a Detroit Tint Studio Scrub It Mini. There have been a couple things. Dang. This looks good. I'm happy with this. What up? Oh yeah, we done. Oh yeah, I was super slow on this car. Alrighty, that's gonna wrap it up for today, folks. Looks good. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate ya. Keep in mind, 313tint.com is where we sell tools. If you use the code 313tint, right now you'll save 5% on tools. It's a promo code we use quite a bit. GG. Bye.